I almost forgot
Game
which
dev.
scene.
Game dev. Game dev. Crushes hard drive on head like a soda can woo.
Soda can woo. Hi everybody. We're back. We're doing the thing. We're deving the games. Jeez, this is gonna be... It's a soft lock zone. It got fixed like almost immediately too. I just bumped the invisible wall of the foreground up like an inch. I've got my big old list of problems. Let's see here. Let me get that pulled up. The big old list of problems, and a lot of them are labeled as lag or dupu. Fixed in the current version. Sure. Anyway. Thank you for the PIB party, Mac. Dupu is a problem. Yes, always. Dupu is always a problem. Yeah, lag did great. I loved the screenshots. But yeah, there's still much to be done. So there were some things that lag found that I can't reproduce, despite his expert listing here. Let's see here. So one of the things he mentioned was this mystery physics bug. And I'm pretty sure it's related to the CSG stuff. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Double cat. Okay. So lag very nicely mentioned that if you're holding up against this wall when you jump, it cuts your jump height. And right now, that is not happening for me. And he also said the same thing happens up here with the cheese. Right around the cheese. But that doesn't happen for me. We're on the same physics engine. So, like, what could it be? Mac was saying, like, the load speed of the area, but it's already loaded. There's nothing loading. It's here. It's here right now. So I don't think it's going to be anything like that. Do slow-mo. I do quick mode. His controller? I really doubt it. Especially with as I don't know, well, oops, no. Thorough as he was in his notes. Oh, look at my stick. Take stick. No, there's not. So nothing like that. Okay, I'm jumping at the cheese, and nothing is going on here. Jumping at the cheese is doing nothing. So, notice that there's a lot of geometry, generated geometry that happens here and here. So, like, what if something like that is causing it? Like, these are flush. These are flush, but there could be something in the physics engine that says, but you're trying to move towards the wall so you can kind of like brush up against this seam. No, Mac, it couldn't. That wouldn't. That the only thing that would affect is load times from the disk. Things such as loading a scene, loading an object. There's nothing loading. Right now, I'm just sitting here in a room jumping. Nothing is being loaded. I guarantee you it's nothing like that. It's got to be the seam seems like a likely culprit. The other area, let me check his big list. Bugs compressed. Was there another area where the jumping physics were weird? No. There was not. Well, actually, there was in room back A. He said he could jump from a corner. Is there any weird geometry here? No, actually, there's not. So that's scary. Like, what was he jumping off of? Because if you're up against this corner, as he is in his screenshot, hammering A. When hammering A in this room, all right, let's give that a nothing. Maybe Cat needs to be in the corner. I mean, she'll just get pushed through. No, I can't jump off of her. She is completely not solid to Dabble. She can be pushed by Dabble. In this physics engine, solidity is not, it's commutative. I can affect Cat, but Cat cannot affect me. So Dabble has priority. Dabble can push Cat, but Cat cannot push Dabble. There's nothing happening. Okay, hang on. Let's try changing. Let's disable VSync. Because that increases our frames per second, right? Would that matter? Would that make any difference? Nothing. Cannot reproduce. Additionally, Lag mentioned getting stuck on the wood in back B on these planks, and someone on Steam mentioned that as well. And again, I've jumped at this, and I've got the screenshot from Lag pulled up, and I've checked. It's like right here is where he gets stuck, and that's nothing. There's nothing even weird about the geometry of this. So what on earth is he stuck on? If I could get it to happen to me, then I can rip the scene apart and reduce it to just its you know, the one piece that's creating problems, but I got no idea. At least with the other ones, it's like, ah, yeah, there's a seam there in the mesh. Maybe that's what's causing it. But here, nothing. Nothing at all. All right, what else? Let's look at Dupu's logs. Dupu's logs. Stardate 6. Like it's rendering in a different way. I mean, that could definitely cause things to appear different. For instance, the game rendering just like a black screen, or the game still running and operating normally, except you can't see anything happening. That could be caused by rendering bugs. Getting stuck on an object could not be caused by a rendering bug, because that's not rendering. Rendering is just drawing what is happening to the screen. Let's see here. Okay. Dupu's VOD was at 102.11 when he crashed. Hello, Day. I'll let it read the thing.
I have had a room here for a while.
For a while. Day, thank you for 61 months. It's almost a year, I guess. It's pretty close. It's more or less. It's getting there. Hope you're doing well, Day. Dupu's game crashed about an hour into his stream. How do the Godot logs work? How do the Godot logs work? Logging. Here we go. Okay. Logs are rotated to keep older files available for inspection. Each session creates a new log file. The old log file gets renamed to contain the date at which it was rotated. Okay, so the newest one is just going to be Godot.log. Makes sense. So it's going to be working backwards. So this is the newest one. Now, when does it log? When does it log? Uh-huh. Let's check. Project settings, logging, file logging. Okay, not a lot of information here. Not a lot going on here I can use. Debugging. Expression debug. No, that doesn't really tell me much, does it? Nope, that's it. That's all we got. Okay. An adventure. Always good to have an adventure. Let's see here. When does a log file get generated? It's each session. Each session is a log file. Okay. So this would have been the penultimate one. Okay. When does Dupu's stream start in his local time? We're going to count. Let's see here. That would have been... in UK time, 3 p.m. Yes, 3 p.m. Okay. Checking my work there. So this log labeled 1923. Four hours, 23. Okay, so this one would have been the boss crash, I guess. Maybe this is the boss crash. Whoa. Okay, we got an actual crash handler exception. That's better than the other logs gave me. Program crash. I guess because a lot of the other endings was just like a soft lock of some sort.
At the sound of the E, the time is 3 p.m. Dupe Standard Time.
Program crash was signal 11. What does that mean? What does that mean? You know what? I could look at Godot's source code, right? Is that a terrible idea? Is that a terrible idea? Of course it's not. All right. Program crashed with signal. Search in this repository. Okay. Crash handler, Windows, CPP. Oh, I love me some C++. I don't actually love me some C++. All right. We're looking at the Godot source code. So this is the actual engine that runs Paper Robot. This is not written by me. All right. Okay. So we'd hit crash handler exception and then signal. So what caused this? Passes in. All right, so the function is crash handler exception is a void. Get exception information. What is that? What is get hand? Okay, what is that one? Whoops. Not what I wanted. Hang on. Okay, crash handler exception. Show me instances of crash handler exception. Header file. Just ignore header files. I don't care about the header files. SEH. Signal. What? What? What are those? Signal handlers. Structured exception handling is a Windows-specific system for managing errors and exceptions. All right. All right. Ugh. I don't like the look of this. What is it? Ugh. Ugh. Oh, pointers. Oh, no, I don't want to think about pointers. I don't have to think about pointers. Get exception information. What is get? Where is that? Oh, is that a Windows? Oh, that is that. Okay, that's not a defined function there. That is, what does that return? A pointer to an exception pointers structure that contains pointers to the exception record structure and the context structure that contains the computer state information. Okay, so get exception information is going to return that, and then crash handler exception gets a list of pointers. That's not the same then, is it? That's not the same one. Don't love that. Don't love that. And this is what gets printed. But where is... So what's calling this? Oh, wait. Extern. Extern. Remind me. Define another unit. Source file and its headers. Well, it's not... Wait. I don't understand then. Extern, that makes it sound like it's being defined elsewhere, but then it just straight up defines it. So... Oh, wait. Oh. And what are we in? End if. As if. Where do we start our if? We're within an if. Oh, here we go. If crash handler exception is defined. Oh, is it in the third part? Is it in the third party library? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, but if it is defined versus def. Okay, so it's applying the crash handler exception management to these interrupt codes. All right, confusion with extern keyword. But it's an extern function. How does that work? Why is it a function? Okay, it can be applied to a global function, not just a variable. Show me an example. Show me a function doing that, please. Declare to function. That's not how that looks at all. Okay, wait, that's how that looks. Define two functions, show car and get car. Okay. I don't understand the syntax. That's like really bizarre to me. But okay, sure. Somehow. Don't worry about it. That's where it is being defined, I guess. See, this makes more sense to me, of just saying, hey, there is such a function. Oh, wait, hang on, here we go. Because it's being set up as the handler via signal to these faults. So what would the signal pass in? What would the signal actually pass in? Come on. Where are we? Video game, hello. Yes, Mac. That's where I've found this log, this error, this crash code. Okay. So let's see here. SigSegV, which is a segmentation fault. I don't know if we're actually hitting SigSeg. We might be hitting one of these others. Okay, what about C++ signal? Show me an example. Right. C++ signal types. How about that? I'm looking for... I'm wondering if there is like an enum that maps these to a numeric code. Signal handler. Yeah, int becomes a signal. So yeah, signal enum. Right? What are the ones? What are the ones? C++ signal enum values. Yeah, I know what it... Gosh, I hate these AI ones. They're just... It's like, that's not at all what I'm looking for. Let's see here. So signal int value. How about that? Int value. Standard signal. Yeah, but like, what are sig types? Sig types? Do we get a number? No. Oh, it's implementation defined. Is that right? Ooh. All right. Okay, SigSeg. Okay, it is segmentation fault. Oh gosh, how do we get a segmentation fault? How would that have ever happened? C++ is a different language than the Godot language. Yes. Godot is written in C++. Godot is a program that lets me build another program. Let's put it that way. In the same way, this is made up, but let's assume this is correct. Microsoft Word is a program written in C++, but you can write French in it. French and C++ are two different languages, but you can create a document using the language of French inside of the program Microsoft Word, which is made in C++. No. As a matter of fact, no good bugs have been found. Program crashes signal 11. No debug info, no debug info, no debug info, no debug info. Great. Dumping the backtrace. All right, so that was basically we learned more about the underlying code, but that's unfortunately not great info for us. No bugs. Though I did find Lugioli. I straight up asked Short which area to look. Because you can't Google those things. Hi, Posey. Because if you Google that kind of stuff, it's gonna the little summary is gonna include all this extra information that I don't want. Let's see here. Yep. So we could enable verbose output see, but that really only helps us if we get another crash and re-enable logging. Ah. Da, 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 da. Oh, weird. Okay, some people are getting the same error, but from stuff that I wouldn't expect. So I don't know what's up there. Well, no, the Google results are still fine, but I have to scroll down farther to find them, which is annoying. Let's see here. Dang. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, let's assume. Now, there was something else going on. Hang on, I gotta pull up Dupu's VOD. No, don't start it. Don't auto-start it. Don't you dare. All right, so let's see here. Jeez, he spent a long time on this game. Jeez, he played Paper Robot for 5 hours. Okay, so let's see here. Back in the initial scene of the city. Oh, okay. That's what that one was. That's been fixed, I think. Okay, this isn't terrible, but I want to check to see if this is reproducible. He sure was. Yeah, there was like some... This fence was actually poking through all the way to where you would get stuck on it. Okay, so right here... Uh-oh, that doesn't happen for me. Oh, man. Why, though? Why does it happen for some people and not for others? Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, hang on. It's right here. It's right here. Okay, it's fine that happens. Oh, but it only okay, hang on. We're getting somewhere. So that only happens with VSync enabled. Which would make sense because the FPS is going to be different. The physics are probably going to operate differently. Okay. Yeah. See, it cuts my jump there. What does the geometry of this area look like? I mean, that's going to be, yeah, like, it's just a slope. It's just a slope and another slope and a wall and... All right. So then can we get this to trigger? If we have that enabled. Oops. What's the... Let's just turn all these up. All y'all. Go. That's the Geometry Dash. Okay, so now I'm running at VSync enabled, so 60 FPS. But no, I still don't get the weird geometry here. The weird little collision that the lag gets. And probably not here either. Okay, well, that's fine. What was it? Tut 1, Tut 2, intro, set to 2. There we go. Turn the rats off completely. Okay, well, dang. Now, the nice thing about the fact that we've actually finally deployed the demo and that people have played it is I can actually guilt-free work in areas that were secret on stream now. I was trying not to show a lot of stuff. I don't know why exactly. I guess I just wanted it to be a big surprise for people. They'd be like, oh! And we did get a few of those moments from Dupu, which was nice. Oh my gosh, it's GQ. GQ himself. Hello. Did you win? Did you prime? Thank you for the raid, GQ. I hope you found every missile expansion you could ever want. I mean, that's the way it is. It's a battle of minor progress. Invasions, yeah, I think that would work really well. Well, I'm flummoxed. Wait. Where? Is it? Is it though? No. That's not the same thing. That's not. Unless, what if it does? What if that does affect it? Would that be crazy? I don't know how that would happen, but maybe? Because these are solid, right? Yeah, these are solid. So these technically don't need their collision at all. Oh, wait, what? Is the scale... What do you mean? Wait, hang on. What are you complaining about? Non-uniformly scaled collision shape. Isn't it? 1, 1, 1. No, wait, it couldn't have been, because look, it's got a reset thing, so it's got to be slightly off. I guess it was off. I don't know. Maybe? Hang on, is there something like that here, then? Is there anything... It would be... These don't have collision. It's just a CSG box. That's just mesh. There's no collision there. There's no collision here. This is just CSG. There's absolutely no... There's no static body. There's no collision shapes in this scene. So that's not it. Okay, well, dang. All right, no one else got the weird collision stuff, right? Like that was just Well, you know what? Let's look at Dupu's stream here. Let's take a look here. Get chat out. It would have been right about here. Oh, great. There's lizards everywhere. As they say, I love not being able to see. That was before this. Here. No. Here. Here. So, right here. Does Dupu have trouble jumping? No. He has no trouble jumping flat against that wall. So that's perfectly fine. For him. Love not being able to see. Thank you for the lizards, GQ. Look, they have a friend. So... Dang. Currently, lag is the only one for whom the issue seems to be happening consistently. There's some guy on Steam that I don't know personally who also is reporting some similar issues in this room where he gets stuck in this geometry. And I don't know why. This could have been because of the collision shape. Maybe. That's a huge maybe. So I don't know for sure on that. Oh. All right. The rule is we have to make progress tonight, even if it's not bug fixes. So welcome to Chapter 2. I need to make these bushes move more. I did some really dumb stuff to make them do that, but as it stands, they move very slowly, and we can speed that up, and we're gonna speed that up. And the foliage very slowly kind of wiggles around a little bit, which is nice. Let's see here. Vegetation. We got special code. Specialty code. All right, so let's bump this up, double the lerp rate. It's a little bit better. Let's bump it to 4. See what that looks like. It's pretty good. Eastern Palace. We love Eastern Palace. Never guess letters. That's what they say. There you go. Yeah, this is fine. I want to get more light down here. I mean, I know it technically shouldn't have light. Being the undergrowth. But no, I want it to have light. I want there to be more light down here. Check out check out my great canopy shading here. Isn't that great? Let's see here. So let's just move some of these around a little bit. Yeah. Get some light. Get some little strips of light in here. I think some nice little pockets of light are really important. Little strips of light here. You pass through lots of little bits of light. Let's get some over here. There we go. That looks good. It's cool. I like kind of the lights applying like a weird sort of effect. It's good. It's good, I'd say. I need more light here. It is not, in fact, barrel roll. Nope, not that one. This one? That one could do it. Could add a little strip of light here. Maybe even just do this a little bit. There we go, that's pretty good. Yeah, get some light down here. Okay, there we go. There's a scene. Starwing. Okay. Now then. So this is scene test. Something that I should have done in chapter 1. Hey Riku, welcome in. Something that I should have done in chapter 1 that I did not, and I didn't realize it was going to be a problem until much later. Naming the scenes A, B, C, D, E, etc. worked pretty nicely for keeping them in my head. It's like, oh yeah, that's in scene F. Easy, I remember that one. But it made searching for them difficult. Because if I wanted scene F, I'd go into filter and go, oh yeah, give me scene, or if I wanted scene G, I'd go to, okay, G.tscn, and then I get everything that ends in a G.tscn. So I think this time around, I'm going to prefix the scenes with an underscore. So it's going to be scene underscore A, underscore B, etc. for chapter 2. Just because that'll make it easier to locate. Let's make scene test 2. Get rid of you. Go on. And get rid of you. Beautiful. A clean slate. Kind of want this to be path texture. My block. Enjoy the mom thing. Get up here. Get up here, cat. Come on. All right. So here's the silly idea I've got for this room. I have a silly idea. We have a nice tree bark texture. We do have a tree bark texture. We're probably gonna want to work on that. Yeah. We're doing a vertical room, a radial room. I'm gonna have the camera rotate around the center point, and it's gonna be like a carved out area within the tree and some occasional branches. You already get it. Ow. I feel like you might have the best understanding of this project out of anyone. I think you just have such an understanding of the tropes of the exact type of game that I'm making that I can plop a cylinder into the scene and you immediately like, oh yeah, I know what level you're making. I get it. I think the best analog here is it's Click Clock Wood. It's Click Clock Wood style platforming. It's obviously that's the rotating tree. You know the rotating tree room. I wonder how many games have a rotating tree room. Because, like, obviously, Click Clock Wood from Banjo-Kazooie comes to mind. But I'm certain this sort of thing was probably in at least one of the Mario Galaxies. Maybe Crystal Shards, Kirby 64 might have had something like this. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, he mentioned that in Across the River in Room F. The one with the little cabin by the river. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to have you're not just looking straight on all the time. Also, I think he called Room F when he first got to that room. He's like, "Oh, this room is huge," like his Xbox, of course. And Room F is like fairly small, just as in terms of absolute size. That's it. Start, end. There's like 2 enemies on the ground and 2 enemies on the upper level. But you see it from like afar. Yeah, you see it from it's deep. It's depth because it's not this. It's not you're not looking at this and going like do 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 end back end back. But when you look at it from the back, it's like, whoa, this goes and goes. It's got depth. And that's an important part of it. I don't know how we're going to do, like, the trunk. I don't know how we're going to model that exactly. I don't know what kind of modular system we could build for that, really. It's okay. We'll figure something out. Likely, I'm going to do an invisible wall. So you're not falling out of this all over the place. How, then, do we carve this? Whoa. How then do we carve this out properly? It's a CSG. Oh, a torus. I didn't even consider a torus. I think there will be a small interior room, but it's going to be like a pit stop. Like maybe some birds or something that live there or something, and they can just be, we can have some fun little birds living here as little side characters. Just make a little cutesy bird character and call it a day. Bird puns are great. Should it be a germ dove? Germ dove? Paper dove? Real? Oh man, you can't. If you do 4 sides, you don't get a square. You can with a CSG thingy bopper, but that's not what we're after, really. You have to do. Yeah, even 8 sides gets you. You don't get that. You don't get it. The point is that you'd want to do subtraction and. Okay, see that's a start, though you get a bit of a heavily rounded edge, which I don't love. But that's the general idea. Actually, you know what? That's not bad looking. I don't love the angle going on there. But then the tricky part becomes, you know, like I want to do like a sloping path, and it's like, uh-oh, can't do that really. And then it's like, oh no, I might have to make it in Blender. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Which is mostly fine, mostly fine. The problem I have with it is it becomes very difficult to... Oh, geez, that really messes with the UV. Does it? Does it mess with the UV? What is going on there? What is this? What is this shadow? What is this Shadow the Hedgehog? It's not going to be just a straight up spiral. I think what I should do is actually get out a drawing program and map out what we would want. Oh yeah, I mean I can do like the mesh in Blender. The problem is the workflow between Blender and Godot is not great. What I really like about using the constructive shape geometry is how you can edit it in Godot. Like you can make these changes and then you're done. It's like you can make the changes and you don't have to like, okay, now you need to export it to the right file type and now import it into Godot and now put it back in your scene. And now, oops, ooh, that jump is a little bit too hard. You can't, in Godot with CSGs, you can change these modifiers, these Booleans, right away while the game is running, and then just try the jump again. Whereas in Blender, that it's a whole process of re-importing, and it doesn't work well for me. So an alternate would be CSG mesh. No, CSG polygon. Because that lets you do a spin. What is path? I don't actually know what path is. Abram! It's gonna do the thing.
Wait, when did the demo release? I forgot it was today.
The demo released the 6th, actually. It's out. You can play it on Steam right now. Look at that. See, that's much better. Okay, except for the flickering, but that's just because I have it selected. Oops. Okay, there we go. See, look at that. Look at this. That's something. That's something fun and neat and silly. and a little bit whimsical. Oh, we love this. We love this. It's out now. You can play it. You can play the game. You can play it. Okay, so first off, this, we need to make sure this is set to be solid. Then we're going to plop down a placeholder player in our room. There he is. This is just really nice for getting a sense of scale. New demo. All right, so normally this is how this is going to operate. But you can see a problem here. Uh-oh. That's not how this is supposed to be. We want the camera to be locked. And I think we can do this without any additional code. I think. Using magic. Just magic. We would need a path follow. Let's see here. So the way this works is I've actually got it set up in 2 places I can think of in the game. One of them is the shop in chapter 1. It is a path follow thingamabopper. Wasn't there another one? Wasn't there a 2D one somewhere? What if I pull up the entire code? I cannot. Where would that be? Here we go. Open with VS Code. Path follow. Okay, what do we got here? Does the inn have it? Okay, the inn has one. All right, well, let's just look at the inn. There you go, Riku. You got it. Riku, tell me if it crashes on load. Someone on Steam... Yeah, when you get a chance, someone on Steam said, hey, as soon as I select a file, the game crashes. And I'm like, what? Because we're sitting at like 10 people I know have tried it on different computers, and no one has had that problem. Everyone so far can get into the game, except for this one guy on Steam. Oh, you don't have to do it right now. It's not a big rush. I'm just flummoxed. I'm like, what is happening? Was that the AMD person? Yeah, that one was the AMD person, and I did look up the thread on the Godot forums about the issues with certain AMD drivers, and allegedly that's fixed with the latest AMD drivers. So we'll see if they come back and say whether or not they've done it. I wonder if I could just look up their playtime on it. Like if I just go... Oh, there's no new... There's no new thing. Okay. People are nice. People are nice. I got a response from one guy on a soft lock. There were two soft. There was one guy who was like, "Hey, I got stuck on a bridge." And he got stuck on the boards in back B, which is this one here. This one guy on Steam got stuck on these boards, which Lag also reported getting stuck on, but I can't reproduce it. I jumped and jumped and jumped, and I cannot get stuck on that. So Trout House is the guy who's like, yeah, there's a soft lock in this room, but he's like, he's excited about it, so that's good. Meanwhile, Mr. Coffee, his profile's private, so I can't creep on him and see. Okay, so it works for Riku. Works for Riku. Whoa! Dupu, I'm just analyzing. I'm analyzing your jumps frame by frame here. Right here. Right here. Lag reports right here. That jump, when brushing against this wall, somehow he gets stuck against this wall, like he's hitting his head on something. And I don't know, nobody else can see that happening. It's just him for some reason. I was thinking about that, Al. I was thinking about that. I was like, Subnautica has it. Planet Crafter has it. It's not out of the question to have some kind of button that just, I don't know, warps you back to wherever you started the room at. Yeah, I think I already have something in place that resets you. If you fall out of bounds into the abyss, like let's say, oops, I forgot to put the death zone here, and you just fall infinitely. Once you get to a certain Y altitude, it just resets you back to where you initially loaded into the room. And that's for if, like, somehow you fall out of bounds or something. That said, Lag was still able to find a place where you could land out of bounds. But he had to go on quite an exploration journey to get there. Lag found a way to get the bob in the bar in Drainpipe, the one behind that metal grate. I was like, oh no, you're not supposed to be able to get back there. That was a teaser. That was to tease you for chapter 2. Who would do such a thing? Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. Okay, what we want is a path follow, a camera path. And then this path follow right here will follow the player, which is perfect. But then in room G, golly G, I think this also uses a path follow. Where is it? Oh, that's one-dimensional though, isn't it? I need the nested path follow. So it would be a path within a path. Camera path, 3D. All right, so let's look for camera path. The inn has a camera path. Here we go. Camera path, nested camera path. It's in the hub. Well, I guess it's technically in the inn block. All right. So check it out. Right here in the inn. When you are inside of the inn, your camera focus technically shifts away from the player. The player no longer has focus. Instead, this little invisible box that you can't see does. Is that where it is? Yeah, this little box has focus instead. And the path follow gives you a one-dimensional path. It can be curved as well, importantly. But it just gives you a one-dimensional path. And then you can have the child of that, which is a path follow 3D. You can have that just follow along that path from a ratio of 0 to 1. And so I have a script on that that says, hey, make this follow the player. And then I nest that within another instance of the same type going in the Z direction. And then that gives me a 2D grid of locations that the camera focus node can follow. We're going to do something like that, but we're going to wrap it radially. I hope. I think that'll work. What are the chances on that? Oh, so Dupu, I was looking at the logs that you sent me. You managed to get a seg fault in the Godot engine. The actual Godot engine crash handler kicked in. I don't know. I don't know how you managed it. At least 1 in 6. Oh, so true. All right. So this is what we need then. Camera path. Camera path. How is this going to work? I have no idea how this is going to work. So we add in a camera path. We do need to edit children because we need to edit this mesh. We're going to move this path up, I guess. Transform. Sure, that's fine right there. The latest AMD Adrenalin program. Broken flashing shaders. Not what anyone else has described so far. No one else has described broken flashing shaders. Ah, Dupu is a head and hands boss? Dupu is a head and shoulders boss? Let's see here. So I can give it a curve. I can set the points. Path follow. It can be set to loop. This is important. It can be set to loop. So what we have to do is set up the points on this curve. And we can scale this. Yeah, same issue. Okay, yeah. That's not what the guy on Steam was having. So that's at least some consolation for me. Okay, so we're going to have that as point. Can we not edit this? Interestingly, no, I guess not. Well, then let's just rebuild it. Why not? Let's just rebuild it. Why not? A path 3, a path follow 3D, and a little mesh instance. And then path follow gets this. And then make sure to turn on all the appropriate things. We are going to let it loop. Path 3D, we're going to set those new points. Camera path deleted. Whoops, wrong one apparently. There we go. Camera path. All right, so let's make some points. We're gonna say x4. It's a little bit big. Also, where is this positioned right now? And why does it feel like it's off? Okay, it's probably not off. No, that's definitely off. Okay, cool. Reset everything. Reset it all. Okay, now 8, 10. 10 seems good. Spamming spacebar to dodge attacks. There's a cooldown. Every time you hit the button to defend, you get a certain number of frames of defense activated, and then a certain number of frames after that where it cannot be started again. What Mr. Coffee says is the same? Okay, I must have misread it. I'll check that in a bit. 10. And then let's try 10 here. I mean, you might have. It's entirely possible. Okay. So is this path good? Path good, maybe? Oh, and then I set the out direction, huh? Right. So with this being... this would be in the Z direction. Oh, and I can set the in here as being in from the X direction, except it's not happening very... Can I add... Oh, yeah, you can add more. You can add more. Oh, that's much better, isn't it? 5 and 5. No, I don't think that's quite enough. What about... Hear me out. 6 and 6. There it is. That's a nice curve you got there. Now wait, so what if I can I get by on less points even? And just have -10, 0 coming in from... Whoops, coming in from... There we go. 10, 10. Cricket, welcome in! It's happening! We did the thing! We did it! Boolean, welcome in. Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. It is a red letter day. The Paper Robot demo is out. It's on Steam. You can play it for free. Apparently, if you're big on reading, you can spend like 5 hours playing through it. On the Steam page, I listed it as a 1 to 2 hour experience, but I got proven wrong by Dupu, who did a stream a couple days ago of it and spent a full 5 hours playing through Chapter 1. 1 to 5, apparently. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Please enjoy this complimentary lizard party. Let's do a lizard party. Boom. Lizards. Enjoy the lizards. It's an invasion. Oh, ow. They're raids. They're called raids. Stop trying to make invasion happen. If anybody would like to try it out. All right. Thanks, Riku. I appreciate that. It's good to have more eyes on it. You could do a non-follows. Well, I know who it is. I'm looking at their name right now. Hey, follower, I know who you are. But it's okay. It's our little secret. Oh, thank you, Strom. I'm getting some reports that some AMD drivers are having some really weird issues. Possibly due to AMD Adrenalin, which I don't know what that is. Some kind of wrapper program from AMD. I don't know. It was Johnson. It's true. I didn't want to admit it, but yeah, it is. Okay, do we have a circle now? Oh, we got a circular path. We're gonna do something fun. 420 off. XX Dobbs fan XX_69 with lots of numerical letter substitutions. Yeah, something weird going on in AMD. That's one of the biggest things I've been struggling with right now is I've got some really good bug reports from some of my friends that I've sent the game to. And it's just inconsistent. One person will have something really weird going on and no one else will experience the same issue. Boolean, thank you. Have a good one. Fine tune your GPU. I don't know. Anytime a video card has come with one of those little helper programs, like, get the, it's Forward Plus. Anytime it comes with one of it's the NVIDIA control panel, it's like, I don't want that. I don't want the NVIDIA Plus experience. I just want you to draw pixels to the screen. Admittedly, the kind of stuff that I play does not usually require much of a video card. Factorio. I like 2D games. And they look pretty, but, it's just that. Okay. Pathfollow 3D, looping enabled. Mesh, we don't even need that. But we do need to turn on the... let's turn this on to test it. It should follow the player, I think. Yes. Yes, perfect. So it follows the player, looping around, all the way around. Good, look at that beautiful path follow. So the next step is we have to set the camera to follow that as its new target. So to do that, I have a special little mechanism I've created called the camera control zone. We just scale this to fit, and as long as we are in the zone, which believe me, we are in the zone. Everything is in the zone now. Boom. The zone. We can now tell it, hey, follow this mesh. Now, will it rotate automatically? Let's find out. If it doesn't, we'll add a flag. It does not. Whoa. Or does it? It does something at the loop point. Something bad happens there. Right now it's following this invisible thing, but it's not rotating with it. If we enable visibility on that, we'll see that it is following it, and it is rotating. The mesh itself is rotating, but our control target here... Uh-oh. Oh, how bad is this going to be? How bad is this going to be? Oh, I really don't want this to have to happen, but it might have to happen. All right, let's check our camera code here. So we've got a little bit of camera code here for lerping positions and everything. Target. It defaults to player, but it can instead have an alternate target going on, as defined by the camera handler, which does this cool thing where it dynamically lerps towards the latest target according to a smoothing function. All right, so we're going to be looking for target. Wait a second. This isn't the code that I wanted. This is the code I wanted. Get out of here. Get out of here. Here we go. The target. The currently tracked object. So when adjusting on target, match target rotation. That's the one we want. We do have code for it already. How about that? But what sets it? What sets it? When do we ever use that? I don't even know. Okay. Great. So I can just adjust our control zone. We're gonna have a Boolean here. Match target rotation. If we are setting a target, then we will set it there. And if camera target, and if that, then undo it. Thank you, Riku. I'll make sure to list that as the maximum recommended specs. All right, so now in our path, in our camera control zone, we're gonna say, yes, please match to the target rotation. Oh, this is gonna do something weird. Oh, yep, sure is. I mean, that's interesting in its own right, but it is very wrong. That's not how this should be working. Mesh here, let us rotate that. On the y-axis by 90 degrees. Maybe negative 90. It's the new minimum requirements. Great. Yeah, maybe negative 90, huh? How's this looking? Guys. Whoop, okay. Right there. Something really wacky happens here. Oh, and there as well. Extra wacky here. So that's the point where it loops around. Game's working normally. There you go. Okay, the looping logic is not great on this path follow here. So it's supposed to be get closest offset and then lerp towards that. So what this is going to be doing here then. Print. Let's see here. Scene manager dot. Is it scene manager or is it UI global? Maybe it's UI global. Oops, not you, not you. Nope, it's not that either. It was scene manager then, probably. Has some code for managing metrics. And we've got a special one called metrics log. Okay, this is good, this is good. Metrics log, and we can just set it equal to whatever we want. And I'm going to say I want that to be equal to target progress. And now we can verify. Yep. So as soon as we're approaching that, goes from 0 to 63. 63 progress. So what I need to do... what do I need to do? If the current progress is very, very low, and then the target progress is very, very high ratio, then I need to just wrap it around. How can I get that? Progress is measurement of what here? Because 63 is weird. Path Follow 3D has a progress ratio. We have a progress ratio, which is handy. And get closest offset. What is that? What is get closest offset? Returns the closest offset to 2 point. Great. Okay, so I can calculate ratio, I assume, right? How would I calculate the ratio? Progress ratio. Progress within the path. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. I hope you enjoy Godot. Because that's what we're going to be doing for a long time now. So I think what we're missing here is the curve object. Is there a way to get the length of that easily? Length. Get baked length. Should be approximate enough. Great. So we want curve.length. All right. Curve max equals curve dot get baked length. I get you, Riku. There's some people that get on like at odd hours of the night that I would love to watch, but I have to sleep. I'm very bad with lack of sleep. If I do not get a full night, I am not doing well the next day. Current ratio is well, it's just ratio, progress ratio, right? So what we'd want to say is what? Target ratio. Target ratio equals target progress divided by curve max, I think. So if, let's see, what's our wiggle room here? Do we just want to say if it jumps from like less than a quarter to more than 3/4 or something, then we loop it? Work hours, yeah. If progress ratio is less than 0.25 and target ratio is greater than 0.75, then let's just assume we looped. In which case, our target progress we're trying to go really high. No, we want to take our current progress and say, oh yeah, trust me, we're actually plus equal 1.0. Can you set progress ratio? Yes, you can. Okay, so this will set it beyond 1. However, if it's the other way around, our current progress is really high and our target is really low, then pretend that our current is also really low. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, man. I remember pulling some terrible, terrible shifts back in the day. That did not work. As a matter of fact, that did not work. All right. So we're at 0.129. Then we go round and we're at 63. Target progress. That looks so let's look at actual progress ratio then. How about that? Show me actual progress ratio. No. It lerps. It lerps hard here. All right, what if? Silly idea. What if I tell it, do not lerp, just set? Then it's fine. So it's just the lerping that does weird stuff to it. Lerping does weird stuff. Okay, noted. Why? That's a pretty good chunk of overtime there. That's going to be worth a pretty penny. All right, so you guys can't actually. It's fine if I take out the lerp. And so here it's lerping progress to progress. Most of it goes for taxes. Ah. I assumed that progress ratio is calculated and would therefore update progress automatically. Does it? All right, how about this? Print it. $63, 0.9. Oh. Huh. Sure, thank you for that, Lizard Party. No, it's not there. It's not there. Progress ratio is being modified, but it's not actually logging the new progress ratio after I modify it. That's weird. So what if we say take our progress and modify that? Does that work? Nope. Sure doesn't. Huh. But why? So this is supposed to be what fixes this. Japan trip next year, that'll be fun. Short, I beat Lugioli. I got the oil. It was fun. I visited the birds again. It was fun. There was probably something else that was fun. I got to see Trobio again. So much fun stuff. When I got to the top of the world, that was fun. I've been doing so many fun things. Now that no one is watching. Now that I've stopped doing it on stream, I'm doing all the fun stuff. Let's see here. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. What if I would hate this? Would this help? It shouldn't. No. So that's not it. Okay, so check this. Check this. Print progress ratio. Wait, what if progress ratio has some kind of maximum value on it? What if that's what's going on? What if that property literally cannot be set above 1 or below 0? Wouldn't that be something, huh? Okay, let's look at the code for set progress ratio. Oh. Hi, David. Welcome in. Okay. How does Godot implement set progress ratio? Is this where we... Oh, okay. Set progress ratio. P ratio. Did you miss all the cool stuff? Oh, I'm sorry, Willow. I'm afraid so. All the cool stuff is done. Set progress to P ratio times... Okay, so P progress, the actual progress value. It gets clamped. It gets clamped. And if it loops, it pause mods. So you can't set it to a value beyond that. It's just going to ignore that. So we have to set this to a temp new ratio, I guess. And then we're going to... Wait, target ratio. Okay, here we go. Target ratio. We modify it. And then we... Ugh. Okay. Hang on. bring out the paint. Bring out paint. All right, so our problem is we're trying to trick the way path follow works. We can have a value of 0 to 1. 0 to 1 right here. So it starts at 0, which is also the same as 1. Let's keep that in mind. 0 and 1 are actually on the same spot on the circle. We increment it as we go around. And then as soon as we hit this point, we want it to just smoothly keep going, but instead it gets to this point and says, oh, I need to move to 0.0001 next. And because of the way math works, it's like, to get to that from 1, I need to go down the number line. And so it goes like this, and it zips all the way back around when it's spinning around. So it goes around, whoop, round, whoop. So what we want, we are lerping towards a point that's on the other side of the number line. And that's our issue, isn't it? It's our target progress that we're lerping towards. It's okay if we tell it to progress past target ratio, lerp from current ratio, So current ratio and target ratio are what we should be lerping between. If current ratio, we're getting, this isn't quite it. This isn't quite it, but it's close. Yeah, if current ratio is really small and target ratio is really big, then pretend the current ratio is higher or lower. Okay. Let's see, maybe. Oh my gosh, that was it. We got it. We have a smooth transition now. Smooth transition. Yay. Easy peasy. Now the next problem is right up here. Whoop, 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 whoop. This is silly. And it is due to how the sort of Paper Mario-esque sprite is operating. It knows I am facing right, and the camera is facing that way. And it kind of overflows past the 2 pi critical point and wraps back around. And it's also silly that seriously messes with the physics for just a moment. Now, one idea is I just hide this. Every time you're on this side of the tree, we just kind of, oh, you're passing behind something here. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Like, that would be very easy to do. There'd be a little bit of a hiccup in the rotation, so maybe that's okay. Okay, the next problem is we're lilting towards the camera. Don't know if you can notice that. It takes us a little while to get all the way around. If we start against the tree and I just hold right. And now I'm all the way in the front. Press up against the tree, hold left. And now we're all the way at the front. So it takes a bit. If you're going on a very long journey, that would eventually create a problem. But I think as long as we have like an invisible wall, you'll just be kind of hugging against that and it won't be a problem. So as long as we have a smooth wall to work with, then no trouble there. No. He is coming to the front because technically when the camera is not quite on him. The camera is lilting a little bit behind him. The camera is lagging a bit behind. And that's, I kind of want that because it makes this nice smooth motion that it kind of has to follow him a little bit. But what that means is that the camera is actually focused when I'm moving. Here, you can actually see if I hold my mouse. Is it capturing my mouse? It's not capturing my mouse, is it? It's not. Well, put your finger on the screen, right where Dabble's wheel is, and you'll. Oh wait, I could do some silly stuff. Here we go. Where's my? Here we go. This one will be perfect. Move this. Okay, so note that is where Dabble is. But when I start moving, see how I'm away from it. Captain, we did it! It's a playable demo! If you have AMD Adrenaline, it will probably glitch out severely in the opening scene. So the problem is because the camera is focusing a little bit behind him when he's moving, the rotation is also just a few degrees off from his actual direction. And so he's constantly going to be going outward from the center of the rotation point. Which is not a huge deal. I'm kind of okay with that. Whee! Okay, next piece. We got the wraparound working. I thought 1 to 2 hours. If I'm speed running it, I think 30 minutes is doable. However, one Mr. Who Is Dupu did a stream of the demo when it released, and he streamed that game for 5 hours. Hovercat is adamant that I'm giving away too much of the game for free. But I kind of loved the moment where we were like 2 hours into Dupu's stream. Was it 2 hours? It was about right at 2 hours into his stream. And then the big screen comes up and says, Chapter 1. And you're like, oh no, the game just started. Because the game goes through the end of Chapter 1. So I thought that was very, very funny, personally. Let me know if you do end up playing it on stream. I would totally love to watch that. Even if I can't catch it live, I would love to obsess over the VOD. Oh, sweet, thank you. Keep an eye out, because if you use AMD Adrenaline, whatever that is, apparently it screws up the rendering. Okay, then it's probably fine. I've had like 10 different people play the game, but there's occasional. Some people have issues in specific spots that I've not been able to track down. up to and including soft locks. So that's great. That's scary. I don't know if you've ever run into anything. Well, you don't really, I don't know, you don't do much 3D Godot, do you? Most of your projects that I've seen have been 2D. And I can't, it's going to be a completely different physics engine for that. Yeah, that's what I was reading earlier. But what I was reading about was the old driver, which has since been updated for AMD. There was a long thread on the Godot forums for that. Too scary. That's what I thought as well. And now I'm finding out that the true fear is not what I thought it was. I thought the scary thing was going to be, oh no, 3D modeling and making materials and all this stuff. Oh, that's scary and hard. It turns out it's actually really fun, and it is a little bit hard to start out with, but it's not that bad. What is scary all of a sudden is, oh, this guy, when he plays the game and he jumps on this one platform, he gets stuck and the game will not let him jump out of it. Whereas 90%, everyone else who plays it does not have any trouble there. I'm like, why? Why though? That's scary. Why does one person's computer treat the physics differently? And it's not frame rate. I've ruled that one out pretty well, I think. Anyway, we need to nest this camera path. So check this out. What we're going to do is we're going to make the path follow a path. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yes, the path has to follow a path. So we're going to take this alternate path here, and we're going to make a new curve. And it's just going to have 2 points. Just like that. Oh my gosh! Oh man, First Cricket Now Big Boy Games official. Welcome in, Chip. Thank you for the raid. We got some news. I haven't mentioned this in your Discord yet because I wanted to make sure I got some good bug fixes in. The demo is out. Paper Robot full demo available now. It's the entirety of the prologue and chapter 1, which, depending on how slow you read, can be 1 to 5 hours, apparently. I can complete the game sub 1 hour. Oh, good. Welcome from the ads. The demo is out. We did it. The demo is... We have a Steam page. It's real. It's really real. Boom. Hey, it did work. It's not an invasion. It's a raid, Al. Pretty excited. Some people are reporting issues with AMD having big problems with Vulkan, and I am working to see what I can do about that. But for the most part, everyone's having a blast. Apparently, some people are taking up to 5 hours to finish the demo, which is way longer than I expected.
Do a barrel roll.
Good call, Al. Good sound random. But yeah, it's exciting. Chip, I have a really weird question for you because I have no idea what is going on with this. It's not Godot specific. It's Steam specific because I have put a demo on Steam before. That is not new to me. What I did not expect is I got hit with what I can only assume is a wave of bots wishlisting the game in one night, one particular night of the demo being out. I got a ridiculous number of wish lists and an enormous number of Linux demo plays, which is peculiar because the game is not built for Linux. Okay, I get it on Twitch. It's like, oh yeah, maybe, it's like you can do, it's like you could do malicious botting on Twitch. That's not out of the question. I've heard of that. I can think of intentional botting on Steam, inflate your wish list number kind of stuff. Should I run around and say you should not? It's like I can think of people like, oh, I'm gonna buy a bunch of fake wish lists. Not that the wish list numbers are public, so I don't know if that actually does anything. Maybe there's some algorithmic thing you could say, you could try, but like I have no idea what the angle is. Not anything super out of the ordinary. That's my best guess. That's my best guess. Is it's some bot network that's just grabbing the demos and then, I don't know, looking for public keys or, I don't know. I have no idea. It's weird. But yeah, I technically have a buttload of wish lists on the game already. Actually, you know what? That's the real negative thing about it, is I can't look at the numbers properly. Yeah, I don't know. I did some Googling and I'm like, it's probably nothing to worry about. What bugs me is how inconsistent it was, because it's like I've done demos before and nothing. Just like an average number, exactly what I would expect wishlist wise. Yeah, it was weird. It was silly. Maybe there's just, yes, that's what it is. Everyone out there today who uses Linux is a huge Paper Mario fan, and they have been every day, they're just mashing F5 on the new releases on Steam, saying, where is it? When will the renaissance of paper RPGs begin? And then they saw it, and there was just this chorus of cheers. Yeah, it makes sense. Path follow. That's what we're doing. We're doing path follow stuff. This is probably not going to work the way I expect it to, but let's give it a go anyway. We move the mesh into this. We move the path into this. We have a path in a path. Boom. Oh, okay. All right, we're offset by a bit. That's okay. We just need to move this up. Move this down. Down. There we go. There it is. Okay, this should work now. So now we have, oh, look at this. Look at this Nintendo platforming area. And it should follow our camera down. Yes. We got it. It works. Eureka. It's a super simple, and it doesn't follow us out, and it's not supposed to yet. The idea is that this area will be completely just this cylinder. Zoom. Zoop. Welcome in. Ooh. Like an alternate hard mode kind of thing. That's an interesting idea. Get out of me. Forced you out of lurk. I'll pretend I didn't see you. No XP module. That would be an interesting challenge because that's a really hard challenge in Thousand Year Door to get minimum XP, but not for the reason you might think. It's like the idea is, yeah, there's some forced fights in Thousand Year Door. And, oh, you know what? We tried this. I tried this on stream. Thousand Year Door, like, very, very low level. Because once you get past a critical point, you can just destroy everything anyway. So it doesn't even matter. But in Thousand Year Door, you can skip a ton of fights. Just walk right by them. Just don't engage. And then there's a handful of forced fights, like, oh, you got to get tutorialized, and oh, this enemy jumped out of a bush, so you can't run away from this guy. And if you follow that route of only fight the things that are required, you can skip a ton of XP and get to the end of game in, like, I don't know, I guess less than level 10, maybe? Because you're just fighting bosses and a handful of required enemies, and that's it. But you can go even lower. There is an item called the Fright Mask in Thousand Year Door, which has a chance of scaring away an enemy without defeating it. It's only a few coins, not too bad. But on some enemies, it has a pretty abysmal chance of succeeding. That's what I did on mine. That's what I did on my run, was I just did not, I went full MP, but without modules. Or with, whatever they call them in Thousand Year Door, badges. So you have to churn through a ton of these Fright Masks for all required enemies, so that if an enemy can be scared away, you have to successfully scare it away. Which is a problem because you run out of money, because the way you normally get money is doing fights, and you're not doing fights in this challenge mode. There is one item that infinitely regenerates itself, and so you can just sell it for like 2 coins. So if you just keep going back and forth, you have to build up a full inventory of Fright Masks so that you can get past the required fights, and it's just tedious. Just tedious. But yeah, if you're going to speedrun the demo, you don't want to do any non-required fights. You do have to really get through. Cool. This works. I honestly love it. And here's a cool thing. We can just scale this. Not this one. This one. If we just scale the X and Z axes here, then we just get a wider camera without having to adjust any of the paths. Boom. Look at that. That's fun. And then we could have branches coming out that you can walk on and do a little platforming. Paper Robot demo speed runs. It's going to be fun. This is good. This is good. You know what, guys? This is going to be a cool little set piece. It's not even a major part of the chapter in my original plan, but I like it so much that I think it has to become a major part of the chapter. Let's see here. Prologue. 1, 2, 3, is that right? Yeah, three required in prologue. Chapter 1. None in A, none in B, none in C. Yeah, you can get all the way up to the snails, I guess. You get the snails, Jeremiah. Snail guards, top of the planks, the flank fight, and then the finale. I think 5 in chapter 1. The one that's missing is when you enter the courtyard. Yeah, it requires Snail Guard. Have a good one, Riku. Thank you for popping in. So yeah, you can get through the demo with just 8 fights. And if you know the fights pretty well and you know what items would help the most, then you can kind of sail through it pretty quick. Everyone, it's genocide route, Paper Robot genocide route. So you would have to end up like going all in on tennis balls at 6 a pop. If you stop by the treasure chest in the tutorial, that's 20 coins. That's 3 tennis balls. Doable worlds. Free Scarecrow. Which is not... If you buy a Scarecrow, it's not telegraphed that you can get one for free later. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I love that there's some things that you just wouldn't know about the game. The Scarecrow, if you hit him and you don't have a Scarecrow item, he drops one. And you could technically just sell it for 2 coins, maybe 3, I don't know, and repeat. It's the worst possible way to farm money, but you could do that. At some point, I do need to put in a cap on money. And on levels, for that matter. Ugh. Okay. We're feeling good about it. This is a good little chapter 2 zone. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with this area now that we've got it, because I like it. It's cool. I think the best way to design an area for this is gonna be really silly, but I think what you would want to do is Krita. Level 99 demo run. Oh no. Gonna ruin the module grid. 18 hours of focus. Hey, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this silly guy. Oh man. Hope he's not in the final game. Oh no! I chopped him into pieces. So what you would want to do, this is not going to be the actual one that we use, but you would do, let's see here. Where's the looping? It's wraparound mode, wraparound direction, horizontal only. Boom. That's what you'd do. Did a little farming off stream. So then you could kind of design the areas this way and get a better feel for how they interact vertically. You know? This is a terrible example, but you get the idea. So that's what you do there, is you'd use this. So what we need, I think, is to come up with some fun little mechanisms to play with. Isn't it? It's really good. So we need some mechanisms that we can play with, and listen up. We need to get Leon's ability somehow letting you access a critical area that you otherwise would not be able to. So for instance, you would have an area where there's a platform, and then, oh, you can't quite reach this, it's too far away. If only you could hook shot across, wouldn't that be cool? And then it's absolutely required that you can't drop down onto that area. So you got to design something like this. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's some little platforms. You can jump up here. And then the level continues in various meandering ways from this spot. And so on. You get it. You get it. And so that lets you access some, important area. Hey, Liari. So we have some internal areas. We have to use Leon's ability for some areas. I have to get a final design for his for the grappling hook latch points. It's going really well. We did a little bit of bug hunting for the demo. And I'm working a little bit on Chapter 2 areas. What am I seeing here? What am I seeing here? I'm seeing the backside of the cylinder somehow. How am I seeing that? That's weird. But only on certain rotations. So yeah. Grappling hook, like a basket that we can drop from above. So it's like, oh, you need this. So like add a little gear thing that lowers a platform, and then you have to slowly work your way around to get to it. Get to it here. Get to it from here. And then you get to it, and then that lets you get down to an area that you can go in. Yeah. I don't know how we're going to do that exactly. This will be a good way to design it. Bouncy thing? A thing that you can bounce up really high? No, a plant. A plant that you smack it and it helicopters from below, like a little propeller. So you just smack it once. You don't have to latch your gear into it. It's just you just smack it, and then it like just like that. That's what it does. That's the sound and everything. And then it's like it goes up, and then you time your jump from the top, and you jump off of it. And what else? I don't want to. I'm thinking of some dumb setups that would be like, no, that's Kaizo. You don't do that. You don't do that in these games. But yeah, we'll come up with some fun little setups for a wraparound level. We're gonna design for wraparound. I wonder if people ever use Krita wraparound mode for designing wraparound SMW levels. Because you could do it vertically too, now that I'm thinking of it. Like that would help you visualize how it works, you know? Like, yes, that connects to this, that connects to that. So we'll do that for designing this area. This will be a fun one. I need to figure out how it will fit into the major overarching idea of Chapter 2. I think this would be a good crossroads area. Like this is a good central point before you get to the dungeon. I need you to run around in here before you get Leon. Do a little bit of fights. I think this will be like the first major stop. Like you're in a thick jungle of overgrowing plants everywhere. Canopy high above, limited visibility. And like, hey, there's a big tree. Let's climb up there, see if we can get a better look. And also you can't go anywhere else because of some kind of contrivance. Liari, thank you for the Prime. Is it going to read it? It didn't read it. Enjoy your lizard. You can finally enjoy the lizard with the rest of us. Lizard, as seen in such games as Paper Robot. Is there a lizard in this room? There's no lizard in this room. As seen in Paper Robot and in Pinball Roll-Up. If you're really carefully noticing things, you might see him in Pinball Roll-Up. Yeah. All over the place. Yeah, you'll come into chapter 2. You'll do a few little fights against some plant things. Orbish lizard. No lizard would be an orb. You do some fights along the way to kind of get acclimated to like, oh, this is a different area. Things are different here. You gotta watch out. They're dangerous. They've got weird attacks that you're not used to that you gotta figure out. Maybe some of them have a little gimmick. We'll probably start you out with some easy enemies, you know, so just to kind of ease you in. And then you get to the tree. And the tree, once you get to the top, you've got a good view of your target, the actual dungeon, which is the heliosphere at the center of this just overgrown power station. There will be some characters living in the tree. There will be an elevator inside the tree. A fast travel, because I'm not going to make you climb the whole thing every time you want to get to some areas. Tree people. I'm thinking birds. I'm vaguely considering a Germ Dove analog character. Like, just a nice, cute, round bird. A circle bird, if you will. But not Germ Dove color. Something more, I don't know, something more of a robin, an American robin. Kind of a, mostly kind of grayish, dark grayish feathers and some splashes of color here and there. But like, nice circle, dumb little eyes. It'll be great. And they'll be having some kind of minor trouble. This will be your first contrivance of why you can't proceed. That's not a bad idea. Tropical. A toucan. It's not a tropical place. Despite the heavy vegetation, it's basically right next door to where you started. It's just a very sunny spot, I guess. I don't know. No, the reason the plants are growing so well is they're part of a connected network that's been taken over by the boss of the area, which is leveraging the power of the golden gear. We've been over this. Birds for dabble. So you'll get here. There's some reason you can't go straight through onto the heliosphere. You have to go up. And in that process, you'll meet the birds, and you will help them with something minor at first, I guess. And that will allow you to proceed on the ground. Maybe they'll give you access to their, I don't know, tree elevator, whatever that would be. Like, maybe I put that on the outside or something as an actual gear-powered thing that you can, a pulley system that you can operate. Anyway, after you do your initial romp through the tree, where you get all the way above the canopy, and you get a little moment where you get to look out over this nice little vista, and you'll see the heliosphere in the distance. Yeah, some kind of pest is always fun. A little mini fight, you know, a mini required fight against... Oh, it's against something new. Something with the plants that are taking over the area. I need to design the new plant enemies. So maybe that's not what you fight on the way over. Maybe we get some nice little ground-dwelling bugs of some kind that you fight on the way over. And then when you're in the tree, you fight more little bugs. But then the early immediate boss is like it's not really a boss, it's just some of these new plant creatures that you haven't seen before. And then you kind of get you learn about it and like, oh, I see. Oh, yeah, the heliosphere. Oh, yes, okay. And then after you rescue them, they explain kind of what's going on in the area, give you access to their shop. That's very important. That was on the list of outstanding issues with Chapter 2, is there wasn't a good place to squeeze in a shop. But yeah, having a little set of bird people hanging out here would be perfect. So then you go back down to the ground, and now you can make your way to the heliosphere, which is the main dungeon. At some point, you got to run into Leon. You got to save Leon along the way. And then he runs off. And then you're going to fight a character that you may have seen in silhouette form. Whoa. I don't know if that'll happen before or after you poke into the heliosphere. There was originally, I was like a safari guy. I don't know, maybe. But I was really just stretching to, really reaching to find some characters we could add to this area. I'm digging the birds, because we can have a lot of dumb bird characters and make lots of dumb bird puns. Perfect. Everyone loves burbs. Bird puns, bird puns, bird puns. Yeah. So you'll fight some mysterious villain. And then you win. And then maybe after that you get to the heliosphere and you're like, oh, it has no power at all. And then I guess Leon will show up again and he'll be like, hey, I could explain what's going on with that and why there's no power, and you saved me, and I want to go adventuring with you. Please let me be an adventurer with you. And then he'll join your party. And then you have to return to the tree, and now you can access new areas. One of which you'll access using his tongue laterally, and it will give you access to like a mirror puzzle. Everybody loves mirror puzzles. Some kind of mirror puzzle, I guess. Maybe not a mirror puzzle exactly. But the idea is you're going to be focusing reflector mirrors on the heliosphere to provide it with some power so that it can power up the elevator or maybe the door or something like that. Give it just enough juice for that. Oh yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe some light addition kind of puzzles. There might be two of those. Originally, I was really racking my brain to figure out how can we do that, because in one of these games, it's like you want to have, like, your regions are almost entirely going to be just a straight line, more or less, you know? And that's mostly just because of how the screen is going to work. Because as soon as you have like large sweeping areas that extend out into the background, you get an immediate problem where once you're up here, you can no longer see anything down here at the bottom. And so if there's an exit to the south, you don't see it if you're exploring up here. You don't know. And that stinks. This solves this issue because the camera is rotating the whole time. So it's actually pretty perfect. We can make that 4-way crossing as part of this big rotating tree map zone. I love it so much. It's good. That's what we're gonna do, I think. So you'll solve one puzzle, you'll solve another puzzle that's like slightly different enough. And that's not gonna be the major mini game. That's just gonna be kind of the exploration phase of chapter 2. Chapter 1, I guess it was the lily pad puzzle, which was about as close as you got to a puzzle in the start of Chapter 1. Chapter 1 was mostly just find the gear to open the way to the next room. The lily pad puzzle was the only time you actually had to think. And you didn't even have to think much. There was not that many combinations. But it does need to be kid appropriate. Like, as much as I'm targeting existing fans of Paper Mario, part of that charm is the puzzles are not hard. They're not meant to be hard. There might be some hard puzzles at some point. But everything should always be fail forward. I'm okay with the lily pads because there's just not that many combinations. But things like the shell game with the hay bales, there is a fail state. Like, if you fail, you still get the blender. You just have to do a fight for it against the pigs that are in the hay bales. Yeah, good puzzle. So we'll do some kind of mirror-based puzzle of aligning the panel with the heliosphere. I want to do a cool background here. Well, not really a background. Do I just want to do like an inward-facing cylinder of like vegetation above and below? I'm going to try some things. A nice drawn background would be cool here. Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. Let's go small. Let's go see small. This will be good. After you align the mirrors, then you get to go into Chapter 1 or Chapter 2 dungeon, which is the heliosphere. I think that is where a mini game will be, and it'll be some kind of smaller scale mirror bouncing puzzles stuff. And I don't know, maybe it'll be... I don't know how it'll be scored. We'll see. For all these mini games we're doing, I want you to be able to come back and do a significantly harder one for bonus loot at some point. So they need to be scalable. Everyone, have a good night. Don't forget, if you didn't already know, we have a demo for Paper Robot. It's a good game. You'll love it. Play it. It's the best. Planet Crafter with Dove on Friday, probably? Probably. Have a good night. Bye. Whoa, you can see the green screen and the blur. Bye.